Hello, my name is Mark Kelly. I'm the founder of AI Ireland. It's bringing people together to share ideas and help build the AI community in Ireland and help bring innovation to across the island of Ireland.
They follow the 5 Ps. The first is people. So they supercharge their people with tools such as Copilot, ChatGPT, but they actually teach them how to use them. What a crazy idea, to actually be taught how to use something properly. The second is process. They digitize their processes, their SOPs, their workflows, so they make them really, really effective. So you're not reinventing the wheel, you're just more efficient.
Employers aren't out there saying, we want to remove people from the workforce, but they are under pressure to do more with less. Customer experience is very, very important. And the cost of actually hiring people is a detriment for a lot of businesses. So they have to actually reimagine what they do and how they do it. But if there isn't an upskilling plan put in place, particularly for graduates coming in, they're going to find it very, very challenging to get work, and that's going to become a real issue for our society. And although technology is very, very important, the main point is the leadership. It's the leadership to actually say, we're going on this journey. And I can tell you about all the different types of models and the applications, but fundamentally it comes down to having a growth mindset. And the companies, and I'll talk a little bit about this later, the companies that are really striving forward and really looking at how they can disrupt have got this mindset, and they hire for mindset, and they create an environment for mindset. This is what's happening in the world of AI. It's all beta users. We are the users, we're giving the feedback. None of it's really polished. And that's what it is. It's iterate, come back with feedback.
Because when you start to use it correctly, you will see the wins, particularly for a small business. You can now compete with a multinational. But suddenly you've got a sparring partner where you've got Einstein in your back pocket that you can engage and use. But to get the most out of Einstein, you need to have effective prompt engineering skills.
Prompt engineering is the love language of AI. It's how you actually speak to the AI every day. But my favorite prompt is the prompt I created called Back to the Future. So you go 12 months into the future and talk me through all the reasons why my app will not be successful.
One of the biggest challenges you have when you're in a business is you want to scale and grow, but you're building this plane while you're flying the plane, right? And you're really time poor. But having the opportunity to say, well, actually, how much is this going to cost me? What does this actually look like? So trying to figure that out. So I'm working with a company in South Dublin, 50,000 employees, and they're looking to roll out AI agents across the world. And they're trying to figure out what that's going to be in 3, 6, 9, 12 months.
Then you get the product or your service. You're weaving AI into that product or service where it makes sense. So they stay away from wouldn't it be cool snare projects, but stay very, very closely aligned to what makes sense for them and add value to them. And then there's place, a safe place to do it. Now for a lot of us, we're too busy to learn new things because we're trying to run really, really fast in a hamster wheel. It's 5-to-1 play. So stop reading the blogs and the videos, but immerse yourself in the tech of using it. And that 5-to-1 play will enable you to have new behaviors.
But here's the kicker. You won't learn anything until you tell one other person. You have to show one other person what you learned today. If you show one other person what you learned today, they will learn, and you will learn because you've taught someone else.
And that's the great thing about AI. It's personalization, and it helps you to do that journey. But our biggest challenge, how do we get it out to people? And also, how do we make them feel like they need to go on the journey rather than it's actually happened to them?
The 5th P is proprietary. So the key insights of what you have, you can leverage that. Because AI has made sure that there's no moats anymore, but proprietary data versus synthetic data means that you can take advantage of that. So from a simple framework, if you can get those 5 Ps into everything that you're doing, your team's doing, the institute that you're involved in, that is a framework for success to leverage it.
The only way that we're actually going to introduce AI into our day-to-day is if we actually start to reimagine ourselves. How do we actually reimagine how we use the technology to augment ourselves, to become better? Now, if we bring relevant use cases to the people across this country, they're going to be empowered, they're going to use it, and they're going to use it in the right way. But if we try to teach them in a way that all the mechanisms of how AI is, the PhD all around that, they're not necessarily going to learn. So for me, there's less slop if we teach them how to use it correctly and the right way.
And then also making it accessible to everyone. So my brother's an electrician, my mum is a tour guide. My brother, he does speech to invoice. So he'll take in some calls, and rather than he go home at 6 to 7 to send out the invoices, after the call, he just says, yep, send that invoice, and it goes across. It might save him 20 minutes, 30 minutes a day, but he gets home maybe at 5:30 rather than 7 to do his work. My mum's tour guide helps to draft the first itinerary, and then she polishes it off herself. She doesn't need amazing products, but that helps her to create a service that she then impacts. And I want that for the whole of society. And we're trying to help 1 million people become AI literate. So you don't have to have a degree, a PhD. You just need to stay in your lane, use products and services that can help you move forward.
This is where the magic is with AI.